Why you don't need expensive gyms after 70. Science finally proved it. Picture this. Mildred Johnson, a 73-year-old retired elementary school teacher from Columbus, Ohio, spent nearly $800 on an annual gym membership last January. Like many of us, she was convinced that the only way to stay healthy in her 70s was to have access to those fancy machines, personal trainers, and specialized equipment. 3 months later, she'd only visited 4 times. I felt intimidated, she told me. All those complicated machines, the loud music, and frankly, not seeing many people my age made me feel like I didn't belong there. Mildred's experience isn't unique. Across America, seniors are spending thousands of dollars annually on gym memberships they rarely use, believing it's the only path to staying active and healthy. But what if I told you that recent scientific research has finally confirmed what many of us suspected all along? Those expensive gym memberships aren't just unnecessary for maintaining fitness after 70. They might actually be working against your unique fitness needs and goals. The latest studies from the National Institute on Aging and several prestigious universities across the United States have discovered something remarkable. The most effective exercise routines for adults over 70 don't require expensive equipment, complicated machines, or costly memberships at all. Today, I want to share with you these groundbreaking findings that have changed how medical professionals across America are approaching fitness for seniors. We'll explore why the traditional gym model was never designed with seniors in mind, discover the specific types of movement that scientific research has proven most beneficial for our bodies at this stage of life, and I'll share practical, affordable alternatives that have worked for thousands of seniors from Florida to Washington state. Most importantly, I'll reveal the simple at-home routines that have helped people like Walter Simmons, a 78-year-old retired postal worker from Burlington, Vermont, regain his strength, balance, and energy, all without setting foot in a commercial gym. Let's start by understanding why conventional gyms aren't optimized for seniors in their 70s and beyond. Traditional fitness centers emerged in the 1970s and 80s, primarily targeting young professionals and bodybuilders. Gerald Thompson, a former gym owner from San Diego, California, explained it to me this way. The business model of most commercial gyms relies on selling memberships to people who won't use them regularly. The equipment, atmosphere, and programming were never designed with older adults in mind. This explains why so many seniors feel out of place, because these spaces weren't created for us in the first place. Modern gyms often emphasize high-intensity workouts, heavy weight training, and complex equipment that can actually increase injury risk for older adults. Dr. Margaret Coleman, a geriatric specialist at the University Medical Center in Phoenix, Arizona, points out that many standard gym machines force the body into fixed movement patterns that don't accommodate the natural changes in joint mobility that occur as we age. This one-size-fits-all approach simply doesn't work for bodies with 7 or more decades of living experience. Moreover, the financial burden of these memberships can be considerable, especially for seniors living on fixed incomes. With the average gym membership in America costing between $40 and $100 monthly, not including initiation fees, personal training sessions, and special classes, that's potentially $100-200 a year or more that could be better invested elsewhere. For many seniors receiving Social Security benefits or limited pension payments, this expense can represent a significant portion of their monthly budget. But here's where the science gets truly fascinating. A landmark study published last year in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy followed 245 adults aged 70-85 across 5 states for 18 months. Half were given memberships to premium fitness centers with full training on equipment use. The other half received instruction in simple, equipment-free exercises they could perform at home or in their local community centers and parks. The results surprised even the researchers. The home exercise group showed greater improvements in functional mobility, balance, and overall quality of life. Even more telling, they were 64% more likely to maintain their exercise routine for the full 18 months. Why did this happen? The answer lies in what researchers call adherence factors. Beatrice Wilson, an 81-year-old participant from the home exercise group in Savannah, Georgia, explained it perfectly. When exercise becomes a natural part of your day, something you can do while waiting for the coffee to brew or watching the evening news, you're much more likely to stick with it. Without the barriers of transportation, weather concerns, intimidating environments or rigid schedules, seniors simply exercised more consistently. Let me tell you about Ernest Turner, a 75-year-old retired high school coach from Minneapolis, Minnesota. After his wife Edna passed away, Ernest found himself struggling with isolation and decreasing mobility. His doctor recommended joining the expensive new gym that had opened near his neighborhood. "I went twice," Ernest recalled with a chuckle. "The first time, I couldn't figure out how to adjust the seat on the machines. The second time, the music was so loud, I couldn't hear the instructions from the young trainer who spoke too fast anyway." Ernest was about to give up on exercise altogether when his neighbor invited him to join a small group of seniors who gathered at the local park. "We started with simple walking paths, gradually adding gentle strength movements using resistance bands and our own body weight," Ernest explained. "We do chair rises while talking about our grandkids, balance exercises while discussing the latest community news." 6 months later, Ernest could climb the stairs to his second-floor apartment without stopping to rest. His blood pressure had improved so much that his doctor reduced his medication. "And I didn't spend a dime on fancy equipment," he added proudly. "Just $15 for a set of resistance bands and comfortable shoes I already owned." What Ernest discovered intuitively, science now confirms. The most beneficial exercises for adults over 70 focus on 4 key areas: balance, flexibility, cardiorespiratory health, and functional strength. These can all be addressed with minimal or no equipment. Take balance, for instance. A study from the University of Michigan found that simple standing exercises, like shifting weight from one foot to another or practicing modified Tai Chi movements, significantly reduced fall risk in adults over 65. These exercises require nothing more than a stable chair or countertop for occasional support. Flexibility training, critical for maintaining independence in daily activities, doesn't require the stretching machines found in gyms. Gentle yoga-inspired movements, performed while seated if necessary, can maintain and even improve range of motion. Hazel Martinez, 83, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, started doing 10 minutes of seated stretches every morning while watching the sunrise from her porch. "After 2 months, I could reach the highest cupboard in my kitchen again," she told me, something I hadn't been able to do for years. For cardiovascular health, walking remains one of the most effective exercises for seniors, and America's neighborhoods, parks, and shopping malls provide perfect venues regardless of weather. Raymond Lewis, 77, from Boise, Idaho, started a mall walkers group that meets 3 times weekly before stores open. "We get our steps in, socialize, and don't spend a penny," he explained. "Some days we do 15 minutes, other days we might do 40. We go at our own pace with no pressure." Studies show this kind of moderate activity, done consistently, provides greater cardiovascular benefits for seniors than sporadic, high-intensity gym workouts. Perhaps most surprising is what researchers discovered about strength training. While commercial gyms emphasize weight machines and free weights, studies show that for adults over 70, resistance band exercises and bodyweight movements often provide better results with less injury risk. Dr. Howard Franklin, a geriatrician at Florida Senior Medical Center in Tampa, explains, "Resistance bands allow for natural movement patterns rather than fixed ranges of motion. They're gentle on aging joints, while still providing progressive resistance as strength improves." You might be wondering about specific routines or exercises you could start with. I believe it's always best to consult with your healthcare provider before beginning any new fitness program, especially if you have existing health conditions like heart disease, arthritis, or osteoporosis. However, I can share some generally safe and effective movements that have worked well for many seniors across the country. For balance, try the simple flamingo stand. While holding onto a sturdy chair or countertop, practice standing on one foot for 10-30 seconds, then switch sides. As your balance improves, try reducing your dependence on the support. Agnes Peterson, 76, from Portland, Maine, practiced this while brushing her teeth each morning and evening. "After 3 weeks, I noticed I wasn't grabbing for handrails as often when taking the stairs," she shared. For flexibility, gentle seated twists can help maintain spinal mobility. Sitting in a chair with feet flat on the floor, place your hands on the opposite shoulders, then slowly rotate your upper body to one side, hold for a breath, and return to center before rotating to the other side. Clarence Wilson, an 82-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia, incorporated these twists into his daily routine while watching the evening news. I can look over my shoulder when backing up my car now, something I had trouble with before. For cardiovascular health, simply walk. If outdoor walking isn't convenient or safe, consider walking in place during TV commercial breaks. Loretta James, 79, from Chicago, Illinois, started this practice during her favorite evening shows. I'd stand up and march in place during every commercial. By the end of a 2-hour program, I'd logged nearly 20 minutes of movement without missing any of my shows. For strength, try wall push-ups. Standing arm's length from a wall. Place your palms flat against it at shoulder height, then bend your elbows to bring your body toward the wall before pushing back to the starting position. Stanley Matthews, 84, from Seattle, Washington, began with 5 wall push-ups and eventually worked up to 3 sets of 15. My arms are strong enough now that I can lift my great-grandchildren when they come to visit, he shared proudly. What makes these exercises powerful isn't their complexity but their accessibility and sustainability. They can be integrated into your existing daily routine, performed in the comfort of your own home, and modified to accommodate nearly any physical limitation. Most importantly, they address the specific fitness needs of seniors without the barriers that come with commercial gym memberships. So far, I've shared with you some fundamental points about why expensive gyms aren't necessary for staying fit after 70. There's a lot more valuable information I'd like to explore with you. Would you like me to continue with the next points that can really transform your experience with fitness in your 70s and beyond? Let me quickly recap what we've covered so far. Traditional gyms weren't designed with seniors in mind. Scientific research shows home-based exercise programs yield better results for adults over 70, and the most beneficial exercises focus on balance, flexibility, cardiorespiratory health, and functional strength, all achievable without expensive equipment or memberships. Now let's explore some additional points that further demonstrate why home-based fitness is not just adequate, but often superior for seniors. One critical factor we haven't discussed is the importance of exercise consistency and how your immediate environment affects it. Dr. Bernard Miller, a researcher at the Senior Health Institute in Boston, Massachusetts, found that proximity is one of the strongest predictors of exercise adherence in adults over 65. The closer and more convenient the exercise opportunity, the more likely seniors are to maintain their routine, he explained. Nothing is more convenient than exercises you can do in your own living room. This proximity advantage connects to another powerful benefit, the ability to exercise in shorter, multiple sessions throughout the day. The latest research from the American College of Sports Medicine indicates that for seniors, 3 10-minute movement sessions provide greater health benefits than a single 30-minute workout. Mabel Anderson, 77, from Nashville, Tennessee, embraced this approach after her doctor recommended it for managing her arthritis. I do a few minutes of gentle movement whenever my joints feel stiff, she explained. Sometimes that's 6 or 7 brief sessions throughout the day. No gym could accommodate that kind of flexibility. The personalization aspect cannot be overstated. Commercial fitness centers typically offer standardized programs that may not address the specific needs, limitations, or goals of seniors. Gertrude Simmons, an occupational therapist specializing in senior wellness in San Francisco, California, emphasizes that the best exercise program for a 72-year-old with osteoarthritis will look very different from the ideal routine for a 78-year-old recovering from heart surgery. Home-based programs can be precisely tailored to individual circumstances. Consider Norman Phillips, an 81-year-old retired engineer from Detroit, Michigan, who struggled with Parkinson's disease. The tremors and mobility challenges made using standard gym equipment not just difficult, but potentially dangerous. Working with his physical therapist, Norman developed a home routine focusing on specific movements that countered his Parkinson's symptoms. The exercises I need most wouldn't be available in a typical gym class, Norman explained. But at home, I can focus exclusively on the movements that help manage my condition. Weather and transportation considerations are significant for many seniors as well. Winter months in states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Maine can make traveling to gyms hazardous, while summer heat in Arizona, Texas, and Florida presents its own challenges. Marjorie Stevens, 75, from Buffalo, New York, tried maintaining a gym routine but found herself skipping sessions during the snowy months. I was paying for December through March, but hardly going because I didn't want to risk driving on icy roads, she said. Switching to a home-based program eliminated that seasonal disruption. The social aspect of exercise is worth examining too. While gyms can provide community, many seniors report feeling out of place or invisible in commercial fitness centers dominated by younger members. Leonard Baker, 79, from Denver, Colorado, found a more supportive social environment by starting a neighborhood walking group. Instead of feeling self-conscious about my pace at the gym, I'm connecting with peers who share similar experiences and challenges, he explained. We motivate each other and have formed genuine friendships. Let's also address the psychological benefits of exercising in familiar surroundings. Research from the Department of Gerontology at University of Alabama showed that seniors experience less performance anxiety and better mental health outcomes when exercising in comfortable, familiar environments. Blanche Henderson, a clinical psychologist from Memphis, Tennessee, explains, many seniors have internalized negative messages about aging and physical ability. Exercising in private allows them to focus on personal progress without fear of judgment, which significantly impacts consistency and enjoyment. Financial considerations extend beyond just membership fees. The additional costs of transportation, appropriate workout attire, and potential personal training sessions make commercial gyms an even less economical option. Gladys Turner, a 75-year-old retired accountant from Portland, Oregon, calculated that her full gym experience, including membership, gas for driving there, workout clothes, and occasional training sessions, cost nearly $2,300 annually. When I switched to home exercises, she said, my only expenses were a $20 set of resistance bands and a $35 stability ball. The savings went toward a weekend trip to visit my grandchildren instead. Looking at the technological aspect, numerous free or low-cost resources now make home fitness more accessible than ever for tech-savvy seniors. Eugene Martinez, 73, from Austin, Texas, uses several senior-focused fitness apps on his tablet. I can follow along with instructors who specialize in exercises for people my age, he explained. And many of these programs are free through my Medicare Advantage plan. From YouTube videos to specialized senior fitness platforms, technology has made expert guidance available without the premium price tag of personal trainers. Medicare benefits present another compelling reason to reconsider expensive gym memberships. Many Medicare Advantage plans now offer the Silver Sneakers program, which provides free access to participating fitness locations nationwide, virtual classes specifically designed for seniors, and even home fitness kits. Dorothy Wallace, 76, from Phoenix, Arizona, was about to purchase an $85 monthly gym membership when she discovered her Medicare plan included Silver Sneakers benefits. I not only saved money, but I found programs specifically designed for people like me, she shared. The psychological impact of workout clutter is another often overlooked factor. Many seniors who invest in home gym equipment end up with treadmills or weight machines that become expensive clothes hangers, creating both physical clutter and feelings of guilt. Albert Thompson, 82, from Richmond, Virginia, spent over $1,200 on home equipment he rarely used. It just made me feel bad every time I walked past it, he admitted. The beauty of minimal equipment exercises is that they don't create this physical or emotional burden. What about motivation and accountability? Many assume that paying for an expensive membership provides financial motivation to exercise. However, research from the American Council on Exercise found this effect typically lasts less than 60 days for most people. More sustainable motivation comes from tracking progress and experiencing tangible improvements in daily life. Geraldine Foster, 77, from Omaha, Nebraska, started keeping a simple journal noting improvements in her daily activities. Being able to pick up my great-grandson without back pain means more to me than any number on a machine, she explained. That's the kind of progress that keeps me committed. Let me share with you the story of Harold Williams, an 83-year-old retired history teacher from Louisville, Kentucky. After a minor stroke, Harold's neurologist recommended regular exercise to prevent future episodes. His daughter immediately researched the most expensive gym in town, assuming higher cost meant better quality. I lasted exactly 3 visits, Harold told me with a laugh. The music was too loud, the lights too bright, and frankly, I felt like an exhibit in a museum the way some of the younger folks looked at me. Instead, Harold connected with a local senior center that offered free exercise classes twice weekly. He supplemented these sessions with daily walks around his neighborhood and simple strength exercises, using canned goods from his pantry as lightweight resistance. 18 months later, my doctor was amazed at my progress, Harold said proudly. My blood pressure is better controlled, my balance has improved dramatically, and I've made new friends who check on me if I miss a walking day, all without spending a dime on fancy equipment. This leads us to an important point about community resources that many seniors overlook. Across America, senior centers, community centers, public libraries, and places of worship often offer free or very low-cost exercise programs specifically designed for older adults. These programs typically focus on the exact 4 areas of fitness we discussed earlier: balance, flexibility, cardiorespiratory health, and functional strength. Ethel Barnes, the Director of Senior Services for a network of community centers in Houston, Texas, explained, "Our programs are developed by exercise physiologists who specialize in geriatric fitness. We provide more appropriate training for seniors than most commercial gyms, at a fraction of the cost. The impact of these accessible programs reaches beyond physical health." A study from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who participated in community-based exercise programs reported lower rates of depression and isolation compared to those exercising alone at commercial gyms. Clarence Johnson, 80, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, credits his twice-weekly chair yoga class at the local library with "saving me from loneliness after my wife passed. I'm getting stronger physically, but the emotional benefits have been just as important." As we consider the future of fitness for older Americans, the trends are clear. Even before the pandemic accelerated home fitness options, the medical community was shifting toward prescribing simpler, more accessible exercise routines for seniors. Dr. Mildred Peterson, Chief of Geriatrics at Northeastern Medical Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, explains, "We've seen better patient outcomes when we prescribe exercise plans that integrate seamlessly into daily life rather than requiring special trips to fitness facilities. Something as simple as practicing balance while brushing teeth or doing countertop push-ups while waiting for the microwave can accumulate significant benefits over time." This approach aligns perfectly with what gerontologists call the functional fitness model, focusing on maintaining the strength, balance, and mobility needed for everyday activities rather than abstract fitness goals. For most seniors, the ability to get up from a chair without assistance, reach items on kitchen shelves, or carry groceries from the car holds far more value than how much weight they can lift on a leg press machine. I want to emphasize that I'm not suggesting all forms of structured exercise or fitness facilities are inappropriate for seniors. Some older adults genuinely enjoy and benefit from specialized classes or equipment. Facilities specifically designed for senior fitness, like those offering water aerobics or dedicated senior programs, can be excellent options. The key is recognizing that expensive commercial gyms designed primarily for younger demographics are rarely the most effective choice for adults over 70. What matters most is finding movement practices that you enjoy and can maintain consistently. For Walter Jenkins, 85, from Santa Fe, New Mexico, that means dancing in his living room to the same music he and his late wife enjoyed in their youth. For Agnes Cooper, 78, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it's tending her garden during warm months and following gentle stretching videos during winter. The specific activity matters less than the consistency and appropriateness for your individual needs and preferences. I hope these reflections and shared experiences have brought a new perspective on fitness after 70. If any specific point resonated with you, or if you have other strategies that worked in your journey, please share in the comments below. Each shared story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you enjoyed this content, leave your like and consider sharing with someone who might benefit from this information. Your participation helps our community grow and allows me to continue creating meaningful content about the challenges and joys of this phase of life. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again in our next video about staying strong and independent at home without expensive equipment.